I'm Rebecca Lindstrom with 11 Alive. I was trying to reach you.
As we tried in vain to get answers, code enforcement passed out violation notices, demanding homeowners do what the HOA will not.
This little heathen right here.
Why is he a heathen? What is he saying that's not true?
All the things that he said is not true.
And that brings us back to this moment.
I didn't touch you.
Do not touch me.
I was the first to cover this story here before local Atlanta media got involved back in December 2023. I brought you the story of Triple OG Gangsta Granny. She was destroying an Atlanta neighborhood. Things are not getting better. The community continues to deteriorate as Triple OG Gangsta Granny is intentionally driving down this condominium community. We're going to get into it, but first, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. I believe every news organization in Atlanta should be on this story. We're talking about HOA corruption. We're also talking about the sabotage of affordable housing in one of the largest metros in the country. So first, I want to acknowledge the reporter at 11 Alive for their work. And again, if you missed the first report that I delivered a couple of months ago and brought this all to light, you can check that out as well. The link is below in the description. Won't waste any time though. Let's go ahead and get into it and see what's happening.
Tonight at 6, poorly run HOA boards not just making life miserable for residents, but harder to find affordable housing.
In a story you'll only see on 11 Alive, investigator Rebecca Lindstrom spent some time in Peyton Place. It's an Atlanta neighborhood that has an HOA, but conditions are so bad even Section 8 won't allow its tenants to live there.
Back up.
Neighbors sometimes squabble.
Do not touch me.
I didn't touch you.
But in this case, the homeowner, Michael Shepard, is upset the HOA president, Claire Cherry, isn't properly collecting HOA dues to fix the damage in their community. That's right, he's upset she's not taking his money.
This is what happened when I mailed the checks. They were returned to sender.
Shepard did pay dues when he first moved in, about $1,500. He has no idea how that money was spent and now says the board only wants cash. Other residents say they haven't even bothered paying.
I purchased in May. I have yet to even understand who I'm supposed to pay HOA dues to.
And see, one thing about this report that they're not really explaining is why this is happening. As explained in my previous report a couple of months ago, Claire, the HOA president, aka Gangsta Granny, at one point she was collecting dues on a regular. But these dues, they were going into a private bank account at Wells Fargo, which is illegal, and Claire, along with the other members on the board, who are also very scandalous as well, they refused to meet with the members or produce documents to explain where all of that money went. On top of that, at some point, she started making it difficult for them to make payments because she wanted everybody to fall behind on payments so that she can use that as an excuse for her not giving them information. You know, because everybody was asking for accounting and everything. So she got rid of the old P.O. box they used to use, and now she's only collecting cash, so there's no paper trail. Another reason why she's doing this, and I explained this as well in my first video, you definitely have to check that out. She's got another scam going on where she's intentionally making the community unbearable and unprofitable for owners to force them to sell. Then when they go to sell the units, she's making that process a hassle as well to try to make them sell the units to her. All of that to try to get 60% control of the community. Right now, she's got 30% of control. And I'll explain that part a little later. But another scam that she's running with these HOA funds is whenever they go to sell the property, she'll tell them they cannot sell it because they're behind on HOA fees, and then she'll give them some astronomical amount that they have to pay, which isn't even what they owe, to negotiate the fees down. Then she'll collect thousands from them, from $15,000 to $20,000 and more, and pocket that money. All the money is being deposited into personal bank accounts, and she's refusing to share financials with the other members of the community. So all of this is one big old scam orchestrated by Gangsta Granny.
How many notifications have you received from the board?
None.
Information telling you what's happening in the
Nothing.
community?
Absolutely nothing.
A budget?
Nothing.
After talking with nearly a dozen owners and renters, it seems this community hasn't had a functioning HOA in a long time. And no dues means no repairs.
This is supposed to be secured. This is the access for utilities coming into each of the units.
I mean, these gutters are pointless.
Yeah, these would have to go.
We found units with raw sewage coming out of busted pipes. The trash can itself is, well, garbage, and the roof is damaged just about everywhere you look. So despite how nice Shepard's unit looks on the inside,
I wanted to do this en masse.
Atlanta Housing Authority told him there were too many problems on the outside to allow tenants using its housing choice voucher, formerly called Section 8, to live here. Even though studies show Metro Atlanta needs nearly 400,000 more affordable units to meet the need.
And I said, okay, I'm gonna do what I can to work with the HOA on that. And then I realized rather quickly that they had zero intentions of making any repairs, having any meetings, fixing things up.
No board member lives in these townhomes, but we did find HOA President Claire Cherry picking up trash in the neighborhood. According to property tax records, she owns nearly 30% of the units in Peyton Place, which means with a functioning board, she'd owe about $25,000 each year in dues.
And that's another thing. She has not paid dues herself for years for all these units that she's got. Another important number to remember is 30%. She's at 30% ownership of the community. What she's trying to do is get to 60% ownership so that she doesn't have to follow any rules from anybody and she could force everybody to sell for pennies, and many of them will lose their investments.
I'm Rebecca Lindstrom with 11 Alive. I was trying to reach you.
As we tried in vain to get answers, code enforcement passed out violation notices, demanding homeowners do what the HOA will not.
This little heathen right here.
Why is he a heathen? What is he saying that's not true?
All the things that he said is not true.
And that brings us back to this moment.
I didn't touch him.
Do not touch me.
A fight
Do not
that
touch
led to
me.
police, but no answers on how to move this community forward. I have found 5 bills in Georgia's legislature targeting HOA issues, but none of the committees assigned have brought them up for discussion.
Take a look below in the description. There's a link to a petition addressing one of those bills. But the HOA members, the owners, they all got together almost a year ago to vote her out so she could stop destroying the whole neighborhood. They no longer want her to run the HOA, but she's refusing to leave. In addition to refusing to leave, she's still refusing to provide any financial information. Now, please understand, this woman is not some little old nice lady. She's calling them heathens, but she's the real heathen. Gangsta Granny, that's not the nickname I gave her. That's the nickname that they gave her in the community for her bully tactics and the threats that she made to owners and residents. From threatening single mothers if they told on her with code enforcement, ignoring that they're getting sick, their kids are getting sick. The link to my first video is below. She's already been reported to APD. Why is it that the investigators are not doing anything on this case? Tell me what you think about this below. Shout out to Charles H. I appreciate you, Charles, for all of your support, as well as our sister Tina. Shout out to Tina. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.